Hi everyone, it's Kennedy.
And it's Dylan.
And we're here with Mindful Moments at Marian.
Our first episode. So we've been talking about this for a while in our mental health club at our school.
Yay, we wanted to start something different so it could really showcase people and how to handle the everyday struggles of being a student in the 21st century at Marian Catholic.
Yes, so we are both juniors.
Yes.
We're pretty involved in clubs.
I'm in Black Student Union, band of course, and mental health club.
I'm in band. I'm a drum major. So we have a lot on our hands.
Yeah.
So mental health club at our school, it's kind of like a fundraising opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we fundraised for Autism Awareness Month.
Yeah.
This year we're looking in for like some veterinary PTSD,
yes. Yeah.
And we're looking for different opportunities.
Yeah, and we really just like to help out the student body, like giving them the ribbons on their lanyards and pens and stickers out for Suicide Awareness Month, and just highlighting days like Mental Awareness Day and Suicide Prevention Day, stuff like that.
So yeah, I think mental health here, I think it's in this pretty well, to be honest. Like we have some really good counselors.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
Yes.
Highlight Miss Arzab. Dylan, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for the weekend. I got through it. We had a very busy weekend. I'm grateful that I made it here. Made it to school. I actually came today. What about you?
I'm saying, what happened for you this weekend?
We had a band competition, and
Yeah.
actually we did really well. And I'm grateful that we did well. And I'm grateful for where we placed because we weren't obviously 1, 2, or 3, but we had a lot more improvement to do, and that was showing. So yeah. What are you grateful for, Kennedy?
I'm grateful for just being alive. I feel like every day is a new opportunity to see the more positive impacts in life, and it just gives you another chance to have a nice day and share with the people around you.
I agree 100%. So the podcast, let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh,
what entail?
Yeah.
So right now we're looking into some special guests. We're looking at our counselor, Miss Arzab, and
our principal, Mr. Zampillo, and our vice principal, Ms. Zaranti.
Dr. Zampillo.
Dr. Zampillo, right? My bad.
Yes. So we have a lot of opportunities, but you're going to be hearing a lot of us, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know you guys are excited.
Yes. Okay. So
we wanted to talk about how to take care of yourself because we know it's stressful being a student, especially if you have activity on top of activity. Man, I know I'd be stressed.
Yes, I am too. I mean, I love the opportunities that are given to me.
Yeah.
But it can just be a lot sometimes, and you have to be aware of it. But you also have to take time for yourselves. When I first became drum major, I was kind of having a conversation with my fellow senior drum major, and she was like, Dylan, you need to put interest in your other hobbies. You need to put your time and effort into other things. You can't just stick to one thing. It'll burn you out. And I think that's one of the best things. I've heard this year, yeah.
And that's so real because managing all the stuff that you have to do, I couldn't imagine it. But you handle it so well. How do you handle it so well?
I mean, I just really take care of myself. I make sure that I keep up with myself, little things like cleaning my room, do my skincare consistently, journaling and getting my homework done on time. I'm a huge procrastinator, but I overcome those things.
Yeah. Self-care is really important when you have a lot on your plate. Taking care of yourself, even if you're doing the face mask at night or painting your nails, that counts as self-care too. And you should always take time to rest. Mental health days are definitely encouraged. Don't miss too much school, but if you need a day off, it's highly encouraged.
Yes. Okay. So we want to talk about a little thing, a drop box. It'll be outside of Miss Arzab's office. And basically, actually, one of the things that we want to start off with is what are you guys grateful for? It has to be anonymous or
anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous. It doesn't have to be, but
it's
always open to that. You don't have to put your name down. And basically, the drop box, you can ask if you want to be on the podcast, recommend people that have a good outlook on life, or a teacher, a staff member, anything that you want to see in the podcast in general.
Yeah, we really want to hear you guys' opinions because we want this to be about us and about the student body, and we want to hear from you guys. Really, we do. So please don't be scared to put in a suggestion.
Yes, and the name of our podcast, Mindful Moments at Marian.
Yes, I think it's super duper cute, and it's gonna mean something. Actually,
I think there's a lot that we can do with the word moments. Do you agree?
I agree. We could do moments in, moments in
just everything. Like,
right?
There's not even like a specific thing, but
I was really thinking we could highlight different clubs at Marian. Like, we definitely have a Black Student Union. We could highlight moments in Black history and moments in relations too, including friendships, relationships, family relationships, because I know those aren't always sunshine and rainbows.
Yes. And I think that's like a big part of like inconsistency.
Yes.
Like relationships and like dynamics with other people. Like one of my favorite words is dynamics.
Okay.
Like it's just like how you interact with other people, like that revolves so much about like how like you actually feel about yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like how you interact with people really shows who you are as a person.
Yes.
So you always want to be as positive as you can.
Your genuine self.
Genuine self, right? Spread positivity and just spread. Don't be fake. We don't want to fake kick it ever.
Yes. No.
So for our guest list, we were thinking about having representatives from the football and cheer team, maybe highlight during competition season and the end of football season.
Yeah.
We were thinking about representatives from the band, like Green Nationals type, and even representatives from counseling.
I think that's going to be a good one. We also have a few other tricks up our sleeves.
Okay.
We're going to keep those a little bit secretive.
Make sure you stay tuned to see what's coming next.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is like knowing when you need a break and like knowing the signs and just, well, first before that, like you need to genuinely like know yourself and like know how much you can handle, know your body. So I think a good sign, or not, obviously not a good sign, but a very noticeable sign is if like you just feel burnt out, you feel tired, you get home, but what do you do?
Right. When I'm overwhelmed and I know that I'm tired and need some rest, but you know you have so much stuff to do. You could have an essay due at 12 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie, you might just have to take a nap. And you can take a break. You can take a nap. That's okay. And you will end up getting all your stuff done. But taking a break isn't gonna hurt you. If anything, it's gonna make you so much better.
Yeah, you need to know your priorities and you know what to get done.
Yeah. Yes. Keep your priorities straight and really just learn time management. That's really all. I think
that's a big skill to have. Yeah. You know?
Time management.
That's something that like we're like really taught here.
Mm-hmm. With all the stuff that we have to do, and I've said this so many times, but we all know that we handle so much stuff on our plate. Time management is a big one, so that you make sure you have time for yourself and time for all your responsibilities too.
I feel like at our school, like the bands like always like really like looked at as like, oh my gosh, like they rehearse so much, but like I don't think people realize like athletes are doing the same thing constantly. Like when we're out there rehearsing, like soccer's practicing, and if not, they have a game, and they're even staying later than us. So like I feel like a lot of like people like outside like look at like that's something that I did too. Like I looked at like Marian as like a, oh my gosh, band, and yeah, that is true. But like I feel like athletics is something that like we can also look at as like the coaches, obviously, you know. So I think we need to be more appreciative of them
and understand that they're going through just about the same much as us.
Yes. Just put it out there. This is not going to be like just like band kids.
Okay, so everybody is welcome to watch this podcast, and this is not just going to be band.
Yes, everyone is welcome. Okay, and I just like overall think that like the idea of like creating this podcast, it's like we get so many others' opinions. Like we can get like a theater kids like dropping something in the Dropbox. Yeah, I think we should come up with like something like more like creative than Dropbox. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think we should be able to have.
You know what? I think that's like one of the first things we should ask. Like gratitude and like what should we actually like officially call it? Yeah, not like a name, but like, did you know what I mean? It has to be catchy. Probably should start with an M.
Yeah, I want to hear everybody's opinions on that too.
To get back to the point, I feel like like we can get so many others' opinions because obviously like us in the band, like that's the only aspect we really have, like we both work, so we have that aspect. We don't have the aspect of like an athlete, like all like especially like all year athlete. Like like there's people
who are
we had a senior graduate last year that did both band and cross country, and that is so like
we definitely have a member who does basketball and band, and she does it all year round. And we have more who do volleyball. They do the track, cheer. Cheer's a big one. And football players too. Oh my goodness. And just doing the double time and going from school to football to band and being at the school all day and barely getting time at home, they are some of the big people who probably need a break.
I think that's like why it's so important to like look at like everyone's perspective, and like take it, like not only looking from your point of view, like taking in other people's opinions, taking like they might be frustrated, but like I feel like also like I've had conversations with my friends. I'm like, like blah blah blah, like what you said, blah blah blah, like like it rubbed me the wrong way, and like I'm a person where like I'm starting to address things like that. Yeah. But at the same time, like, then, like, they might say, oh, like, I'm so burnt out, blah, blah, blah. Then one of the first things I say is, yes, I'm here for you, but don't use that as an excuse with other people.
Right.
Like, I feel like me as a person, like, you know, like, I know what they're going through. I know their issues. I know they didn't meet it. But as they go on and talk and interact with other people, they're not going to have that same mindset of, oh, I understand. Like, it's going to be like, you're using that as an excuse. Right. Do you know what I mean?
I get exactly what you mean. I'm not going to say I hate. I dislike when people use it as an excuse because we should still be able to push past that and push through and be better.
And, like, that's, like, one thing, like, going into mindful moments. Like, you can only push yourself to a certain extent. Do you know what I mean?
I get it.
Like, you can only strive for so much.
I saw a quote. It said, I think the reference was talking about a balloon. If you keep filling up the balloon with so much air, it's eventually going to pop. So if you keep pushing a person so much, they're going to break. So you really need to watch out for the people around you and just always stay tuned in on what's going on with them too, because you might be going through stuff, but some people around you are going through things too.
I think you have to approach them like such like a unique way. Like, you have to really like consider it, but at the same time, like, you have to know what is best for yourself. Do you know what I mean? And like how it'll strengthen your friendship, I guess.
Yeah, and you should always keep your friends close. Always check in on them because you really never know what's going on with them behind closed doors.
I think like keep like your enemies even closer. Like not even enemies, just people that like don't vibe with you, I guess. Like, you know, like obviously that has to strain from something, that has to come from something. So
there's always a reason behind something. You might just think they're hating on you, but maybe it's something deeper than that.
I agree. You know, actually this kind of like brings me to our quote of the day. Life is one big continuous circle of giving and receiving energy. Be thankful for who and what is in your life instead of complaining about what you do not have. If you focus on gratitude, you'll start to attract prosperity and abundance. I think that like relates to like the whole quote unquote haters thing according to Kennedy.
Like, because you know there's always going to be some haters.
Yeah, because you are not going to always, you know, get what you do receive.
And you're not always going to get along with everybody either.
Yeah. You know, like teachers like are always like referring, you know, like they don't have to be your friend, but they are your classmate. Everyone, like I think that's like a big Catholic value, you know. We are a Catholic school. And that's something that like you need to be very mindful about. Hey, good reference to our podcast, you know what I mean? Like you have to respect everyone no matter what. And everyone is human. Everyone makes mistakes, you know.
You should always give people leniency because you don't know what they're going through, like I said before.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys for listening. This brings us to our close. Remember, the Dropbox will be outside Miss Arzep's office in counseling.
Yes. Remember, gratitude in there. Yes. Then what else did we say?
Don't be scared to put in your opinions because we want to hear what you guys have to say about the podcast.
Like Kenny and I are being like open and vulnerable with you guys. We want you guys to do the same with us.
Please do.
So, yeah, and then reiterating the quote of the day, go back to that. And we want to give a good thank you to Mrs. Lamb, Ms. Arzab, Ms. Taylor, Joella, and Melissa for making this podcast possible. And yeah, I think this is a really good opportunity. I think this can really turn into something beautiful.
Right. I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah. And, you know, we are juniors, so we're entering our junior year. There's going to be a lot of stuff on this podcast. Yes. So thank you for listening. I know
you're ready for that SAT test.
Thank you guys for listening. Have a good day.
Love you.